Hey everybody, Sean Hatzel here with Get Lean in 12, and inside this video I'm going to cover about a half a dozen ways that you can naturally increase human growth hormone inside your body. This is your anti-aging fountain of youth hormone that can help you live longer, look younger, and burn more belly fat. Now, if you're watching this, you're not familiar with me. I'm a 45-year-old stubborn fat expert. I'm a grandpa to 3 beautiful grandkids. I've been in the health and fitness industry over 20 years. I've taken a couple of my products to the online top 10 bestseller list in the ClickBank marketplace. And over the last 5 years, I've helped over 100,000 people across the globe. So let's talk about growth hormone and how you can naturally increase growth hormone just by manipulating a few things with your exercise and diet. The first one is to make sure that you're low in belly fat. So losing weight is probably the number one way to increase growth hormone, because research shows that the more belly fat or the more body fat or the more visceral fat that you have, the less likely you are to have optimal growth hormone levels. And conversely, people who are leaner have higher growth hormone levels. So lose belly fat first. The second one is intermittent fasting, which is very trendy in today's day and age. It's not for everybody. I believe the best protocol to follow is to fast for 12 to 16 hours, 4 or 5 days of the week. So if your last meal was at 8 p.m. at night, the next day you would break your fast between 8 a.m. and noon. Now, if you are a male, you're going to get more benefits by waiting as close to noon as you can. If you're a female, you want to keep the window 12 to 14 hours because your hormones are a lot different than men. And fasting over 14 hours could potentially be detrimental to your hormones. The other method to use with intermittent fasting is just called the cheat fast. So 1 day a week, and it works best after a cheat day, is to fast for 18 to 24 hours afterwards. You would just consume water, tea, and coffee with no calories in it. And by doing this, studies have shown that your growth hormone will increase significantly. In fact, I was looking at a chart here. There's a study that showed that somebody who actually fasted for 3 days, so a 3-day fast, increased growth hormone levels by 300%. And after 1 week of fasting, which I would obviously never recommend, levels had increased by a massive 1,250%. So again, going back to the basics, 12 to 16 hours, 4 or 5 days of the week is the easiest one to use and the most healthy. And then the cheat fast, or one time a week, where you do 18 to 24 hours, can also be very effective. The next one is to reduce sugar intake. Pretty obvious, but excessive sugar kills your growth hormone levels. The next one after that is don't eat directly before bed. When you eat directly before bed, it's not necessarily going to make you fat, but it does spike insulin. Insulin is your storage hormone, it's the antagonist to growth hormone. So when insulin levels are elevated, growth hormone levels are lower. Conversely, when you keep insulin stable or low for a long periods of time, you'll see growth hormone levels rise. So by eating about 2 hours before bed, you allow insulin to stabilize after your last meal, allowing you to not only release more melatonin while you sleep, but to release more growth hormone. And speaking of melatonin, the next trick to increase your GH is to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. People who sleep 6 hours or less, it only takes a couple weeks before their cortisol levels skyrocket. Remember, when cortisol is elevated like that, it's going to be almost impossible for your body to produce adequate growth hormone levels. And the last and final method is to use high intensity exercise. And there's specific movement patterns that are done for specific durations at specific intensity levels that you can use to release up to 700% more growth hormone in only 12 minutes. Somewhere around this video, you're going to see a link to click or tap, and you're going to go over to my website, and you're going to learn about this 12-minute fountain of youth metabolic trick that can reactivate your declining fat loss hormones and elevate growth hormone up to 700%. So somewhere around this video, you'll see a link to click or tap where you get access to that. Thanks for watching this, and keep going strong.